Hi, this section is on writing alternatives. Writing alternatives, I only want 3 alternatives minimum. Okay, you can write more if you wish, but I definitely need at least 3. I need you to have 3 alternatives, 3 alternative courses of action. I need them to have at least 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of each. And I also want at least the 3rd alternative to be to do nothing. It's status quo. Some teachers and professors don't like or want you to include it. I do. And I'll tell you why I want you to include it. Is because status quo, or doing nothing, is probably used more often in business than not. And what I want you to do is realize that status quo or doing nothing is never an option. I want you to include it, but I want you to bury it. So, I don't want to see just 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages for doing nothing. I want you to have clearly a lot of disadvantages of doing nothing in status quo. If all you give me are 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of alternative 1, 3 disadvantages and advantages of number 2, and the same for doing nothing, then clearly there is no significant difference between them, because in your analysis you've seen no difference. All right? So include doing nothing, but you never ever pick it. I also want to let you know and remind you to never ever fire employees or dismiss them, because in my course for organizational behavior, you don't need my course and training and a textbook to learn how to fire people. That is something that's quite innate in people and comes quite naturally in terms of being able to just kind of knee-jerk reaction go to that extreme. My job is to teach you tolerance, coping mechanisms, motivating techniques. As a manager, supervisor in the future, I want you to try to educate and help people along, correct their behavior, identify gaps, get them back into being productive. But to just fire them, that's too easy of an out, and we really aren't using your training. Because if anything, it could even lead to more problems. So never ever have firing somebody as an alternative, because that will definitely be marked down as a weakness. One more thing, I want you to, if you do your analysis and you provide 3 alternatives basically, and when you're doing your analysis, what you're going to find is, well, you know what if I were to combine alternative 1 and alternative 2? That would really make quite a potent, quite a strong solution. Maybe that's what we should do. Well, you can, if you make a 4th alternative, basically combine these 2 strategic directions. Make a 4th combined, more potent solution. But I caution you, don't make it so potent and so convoluted that it's basically you're just throwing all sorts of stuff in there. You're going to train, you're going to rehire, you're going to do new policies, new structures, and you're going to do it all within the next 3 to 6 months. Virtually, it's impossible to do. It's what we call the kitchen sink solution. You're just throwing too much in there. I also want to caution you of having what we call straw man solutions. Nonsense solutions, things that are so silly and so illogical that you never intended to ever pick that solution, so you're using it to fill. There's one thing that I'm really quick to find, it's these straw man kinds of idiotic types of alternatives. Make them good, make them solid, make them realistic. Otherwise, they really will not be viewed as being very viable alternatives for consideration. Okay? So once again, that's 5.4 for alternatives. You can go to the guidelines for how to write case studies to find out more about that, or look at the Bendix section for the sample. But this is worth this is worth 20 points on your out of 100. And so it is worth quite a bit. Okay, so that's alternatives. That's it for now.